just in case. Oh my gosh. Guys, my hips are like breaking right now, in case you're wondering. Dude, is everybody sore from last class? Oh my gosh. I didn't realize until like maybe this morning. I was like, oh, it's not Luke's class that's killing me. Like, it's mine. So it's the consequences of my own actions. That's okay. But today's class should be kind of a nice, straightforward, soothing stretch. If anything does get too difficult for you at any point, if there's a stretch that's too deep or too hard, or if there's a stretch that's too difficult, please make sure that you're like staying at your own risk. So taking your own modifications, taking breaks as you need them. If something hurts, don't do it. Like that's going to be our number one rule. If it hurts, don't do it. Push back into a child's pose. Find something that's comfortable. Ask me for a modification if you can't find one. I promise I don't bite at all. With that, I did have a bloody nose about 2 minutes ago, so I am taking the tissues up here with me. If you need one, they are right here, but I want to make sure I can grab them and still teach if worse comes to worse. With that, today we will be having a heavy hip focus. If you didn't already know, my hips hurt, so we're going to do hips today. You may find that there are some like upper body components in there. I've tried to add kind of like back of legs stuff, so calves, hamstrings sprinkled in throughout. They're not as heavily in the class as much. It's still mainly hips, but you will feel a full body workout today. Let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna push back, starting in that child's pose, keeping our knees wide on the mat. If you're looking to deepen that hip stretch, walking our hands all the way forward. Taking this time to set our intentions for today's class, letting go of any tension that's built up throughout the day. Feel free to rock side to side if you're looking to increase that flow. If you have a watch, go ahead and start it now. I always forget. Might try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat. Trying to bring awareness to all 4 corners of your body. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Feel your forearms pressed into the mat. As you inhale, you might try walking your fingers further out on your mat. And as you exhale, trying to push further and deeper into the stretch. Taking one more big deep breath in. And on that next exhale, you're going to push all the way up into a kneeling position. If kneeling does hurt your knees, feel free to push all the way back into a seated position here. It can be done either way. Here, we're just going to do that reach all the way up to the ceiling, taking those little side bends, waking up both left and right side body. Still remembering to breathe. One more inhale, you're going to reach all the way down, pushing that pencil between your scapula, bringing your elbows to 90, squeeze. Exhale, pushing up. Inhale, look for length. Lowering back down, elbows to 90, squeezing your scapula together. And pushing back up. Trying to stay lifted through your core, engaging your abdominal. Staying lifted through your chest. And pushing back up. Waking up your arms, your shoulders, your back. Taking one more deep breath in, reaching your left arm back, opening your chest to the left wall, reaching through your fingertips, slowly trying to deepen that twist on your exhale. Deep breath in, coming back to center, reaching back with your right. Still looking for length through your fingertips. Back to center. Reaching back one more time with that left hand. Back to center. And one more time with that right. Remembering to breathe into this stretch. Exhale back to center. Feel free to grab a block here. If not, you don't really need one. Just gonna hold it in front of you, doing twists using that core, waking up your abs. Pushing through the block with either side of your palm. Coming all the way back to center, lifting the block all the way overhead. And slowly using your core to lower yourself down. Squeezing your core, lifting yourself back up. You should feel this in your glutes as well as your hamstrings. Slowly lowering down. Lifting all the way back up. Lowering down. Exhale, lifting all the way back up for one more. Lowering down. And exhale, lifting up. Doing 5 really good tricep extensions, lowering your arms down, pushing your palms together, lifting that block back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, slow and in control. Last one. Really squeezing here. 5, go ahead and lower that block back down. Heading straight into those camel poses. If you do need that block, feel free to put it behind you. You're just gonna lift your right arm overhead, pressing back through that left palm. Feel free to do this seated as well if that feels more comfortable. Just gonna cross both of your legs. You can come down to your forearm and reach back this way as well. Whatever feels comfortable to you. Really looking for length through your fingertips on every inhale, deepening your stretch through every exhale. Coming all the way back to center, reaching back with your right hand now, lifting up through your left. Feeling a stretch through your left shoulder, your back. One more deep breath in. Exhale, lowering all the way down, walking your hands forward, coming into a tabletop position. We're going to kick our left foot out, keeping our right knee stacked under our right hip, palms stacked under shoulder. Go ahead and lift up through your left hand. Deep breath in, looking for that length. Exhale, wrapping around, threading the needle. Feel free to use the blocks here as well. If you find anything is too difficult. Remembering to breathe. One more deep breath in, lifting that left arm all the way back up. Looking for length through your fingertips. Exhale, rethreading that needle. Coming all the way back up, planting both hands on the ground. Ready to come into that high plank. Slowly lowering yourself down. Pushing up, upward facing dog, or lowering all the way into that baby cobra. Squeezing your back. One more deep breath in, pushing up, finding that tabletop position, curling your toes underneath of you, pushing through the heels of your palms, coming all the way up, finding that downward facing dog. Deep breath in, knee to chest, slowly lowering down. Slowly finding that pigeon stretch. Try not to rock to either side. You want your hips parallel to the floor beneath of you. As you get more relaxed and grow more comfortable, feel free to walk your hands forward. Deep breath in. Exhale, lowering down to that left hip, swinging your right leg in front of you, taking a cross-body stretch, reaching that left arm, hooking it over top of that right knee, finding a gentle twist. Should be feeling this through your right hip. Exhale, kicking that leg back all the way around, slowly finding that tabletop position one more time. I'm going to do a little bit of hip circles for that left leg. Feel free to circle all the way up and back. Still trying to only engage that left glute. Keeping your core strong, pushing through the heels of your palm. Slight bend in your elbows. And switching direction. For 2 more. Squeezing through right and left glute. Last one. And since we're already here, we might as well do bird dogs, right? So kicking that left leg back, lifting that right arm up, Feel free to use the blocks if that feels more comfortable to you. Should be a straight line from the tip of your fingers, top of your head, tailbone to toes. One deep breath in. On that exhale, you're going to crunch elbow to knee, squeezing your abdominals and pushing all the way back. Engaging your glutes. Remembering to breathe. For 2 more. Really trying to squeeze. Last one. Lowering all the way back down. We're going to kick our right leg out this time. Finding a deep stretch through that right hip, lifting up our right arm. Length through those fingertips. Gently reaching back. Deep breath in. And exhale, wrapping all the way around, threading the needle. One more deep breath in, coming back to center, reaching all the way back up. And threading the needle one more time. Exhale, coming all the way up, stepping back into that high plank, slowly lowering yourself down. Baby cobra or upward facing dog here, whatever is comfortable to you, squeezing your back. Trying to find a stretch through that lower back. On your next exhale, pushing yourself up, finding that tabletop position, curling your toes underneath, shoulders over the heels of your palms, pushing yourself all the way up, finding that downward facing dog. Pedaling out your feet, waking up the backs of your legs. On your next exhale, bringing that right knee to chest, slowly lowering down, finding that pigeon pose. Remember, we're not rocking side to side here. You want your hips parallel to the floor beneath you. As you get more comfortable in this stretch, try walking your hands a little bit further. On that next exhale, walking your hands back, wrapping that left leg all the way around, finding that left glute stretch. Taking one more deep breath in. Exhale, unraveling yourself, kicking that left leg back, finding that tabletop position one more time. Starting with those hip circles on the right leg now. Remember, we should only be engaging our right glute. Nothing else should be moving, keeping that core strong, pushing through the heels of your palms. And circling the other way now. For one more. Lowering all the way back to that tabletop position. Feel free to lift up your left arm, kicking back that right leg. Taking a deep breath in, looking for that length, keeping that straight line. Exhale, crunching your core, elbow to knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, elbow to knee. Remembering to breathe. For two more. Last one. Feel free to lower all the way down, curling those toes underneath of you, pressing through the heels of your palm, coming up, downward dog, pedaling out those feet. And you're ready, you're gonna lift up that left leg, pointing those toes to the ceiling. Option to bend your knee, tilt those hips to the side, still keeping your shoulders parallel to the floor beneath of you. One more deep breath in, bringing that knee to your chest, stepping between your palms, coming all the way up, finding that high lunge. Knee stacked over left ankle, pushing through your hips, slowly sinking further into the lunge. One more deep breath in. Exhale, rotating to the side, coming into that warrior two. Still pressing through all four corners of your feet. Length through either side of your fingertips. Next part of this stretch is going to have two different variations. First modification, feel free to put your forearm on the top of your thigh, reaching your right hand all the way up to the ceiling, or planting that left palm all the way down to the ground. If you want an in-between, you can always grab a block. Slowly work towards getting all the way down. Still staying strong through those hips. Taking a nice stretch. One more big deep breath in. Exhale, coming all the way up. Feel free to interlace your hands behind you. Rolling out that neck. You can stay here, or you can hinge at the hips, coming all the way down, finding that forward fold. Taking another deep breath, coming all the way back up. Hands reach to ceiling, lowering all the way down to prayer. This one's going to have another modification. We're going to come all the way down, finding that side lunge. Feel free to stay here, or you can come all the way down to a full side lunge. Remember, you can always sit on that block until you're comfortable. Just remembering to breathe. Deepening that stretch for your left hip. One more deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to sweep all the way back to that front lunge, lowering down to your knee. Finding that low lunge. Hands still in prayer. You can either stay here, you're going to add deeper element of twist, pushing your palms together. Still remembering to breathe. If you'd like to increase the intensity, you can always lift yourself back up. I don't want to do that, so I will not. On your next exhale, coming all the way back up. Fingertips to temples. Seemed to be a fan favorite last class. Feel free to take your elbow, twist till it's almost touching that ankle, coming all the way back up and reaching back for your other ankle. Making this into a flow, bringing your fingertips back to temple, twisting, right elbow, left ankle. Exhale, coming up, using that core, lifting back, right hand, left ankle. Remembering to breathe. For 2 more. And last one. Moving all the way back, reaching your hands in front of you. Just gonna open up to that left leg and close that door again. For 2 more. Still staying strong through that core. 1 more. Reaching up and overhead, slowly sinking down. Feel free to walk that left foot to the outside of your mat, bringing your right arm down, pushing that right knee out, left knee out. Slowly letting your hips sink further to the floor. Deep breath in. If you'd like to increase the intensity, feel free to lift that right foot up, reaching back, grabbing in if you can. Looking for a stretch through that right quad. One more deep breath in. Exhale, lowering that foot if you had it lifted. Feel free to grab those blocks if you'd like. We're going to straighten out that front leg. Going into that bending flow, straightening it out. Looking for that stretch in your left hamstring. Lifting those toes up if you're looking for more of a calf stretch. 1 deep breath. And rebend. Straighten until you feel that stretch through your hamstring. Lifting up those toes if you're looking for that calf stretch. And rebend. Straighten. Still remembering to breathe here. Letting your body know it's okay to relax. Rebend. Straightening that leg one last time. This time you're going to rebend, moving that block out of the way, placing both palms onto the mat, stepping that left foot back, finding that high plank, holding here, pushing all the way back into that downward dog. Pedaling out those feet, if that feels comfortable. Deep breath in, lifting up that right leg now, pointing those toes to the ceiling. If you'd like to increase the intensity, feel free to bend that knee, twist those hips to the right, making sure our shoulders are still parallel to the floor beneath of us. One more deep breath in before we bring our knee to our chest, planting that foot between our palms, coming all the way up into that high lunge. Knee stacked over ankle, slowly letting ourselves stretch through the hips. From here, twisting, finding that warrior two. Feel free to take that modified stretch of forearm, top of thigh, reaching left arm up, coming all the way down to the floor, or using that block to find an intermediate height. One more deep breath in. Exhale, coming all the way back up. Twisting both feet in front of you. Interlacing your hands here. The option to take that forward fold. One more deep breath, coming all the way back up. Slowly letting yourself fall into that side lunge. Feel free to stay here or take it all the way down to the ground. Staying within your comfort level. One more deep breath in. Exhale, sweeping all the way back. Other knee forward, lowering down to that left knee. Finding that low lunge. Reaching all the way up. Slowly letting your hips sink further to the floor. Option to take that twist, pushing both of your palms together. One more deep breath in. Coming all the way back up to center. Bringing your fingertips to your temples. I'm going to do that one stretch all over again. Elbow opposite ankle. Lifting back up. Reaching behind you. Elbow opposite ankle. Back to center. Reach behind you. Doing this at your own pace. You might find that one side was stronger. One side might have more flexibility than the other. That's okay. For 2 more. Last one. Walking that foot to the outside of your mat. Lowering down, pushing your knee to the outside. If you're looking for a deeper stretch, feel free to lift that back leg up. Reach for that foot. Taking another deep breath in. Exhale, lowering that foot. Bring our foot back up. Going into that flow, bending and straightening. Looking for that hamstring stretch, lifting those toes up if you're looking for a calf stretch as well. Remembering to breathe. Let's go ahead and do this one more time. Bend, straighten. Moving your hands to the inside of that foot. Go ahead and kick it all the way back till we're on our knees. This one you kind of have to be on your knees, but it's okay, I promise. Coming all the way up, slowly letting yourself fall back and pulling yourself back up again. Good knee strengthening stretch. Stretch for your quads. If you're doing this at home and you have a partner, you can fall forward, finding a stretch for your hamstrings, having them hold the backs of your ankles. Two more. Last one. Crossing your legs behind you. Go ahead and fall all the way down to a seated position. Kicking your feet out in front of you. Lowering all the way down to our backs. Lifting that right foot up. Hooking it over our left. Grabbing onto the back of your left hamstring or your left shin. Gently pulling your leg closer to you as you rock side to side. Deep breath in, setting our hands to either side of our body, slowly letting your hips fall to the left. Taking one more deep breath. Exhale all the way back up to center. Unhooking your right leg from your left, lifting your left, hooking it over your right. Gently pulling that leg closer to you. Rocking side to side, if that feels comfortable. Sending our hands to either side of our body, slowly letting your hips drop to the right. One more deep breath in. Exhale, coming all the way back up to center. Unhooking your leg, bringing the soles of your feet together. Placing one hand over your heart, one hand over your stomach. Going to meet here for our last few breaths of class today. Taking this time to set your intentions for the rest of the day. Exhaling any tension that's built up throughout the day. You might try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat. Bring awareness to all 4 corners of your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Feel the back of your head pressed into the mat, the rise and fall of your chest, as you slowly allow yourself to sink further and further into the floor. That brings us to the end of today's class. Sorry, we ran a little bit long. Feel free to stay and stretch. However, I think this is Thursday, right? Yeah, so I'll see everybody again next Tuesday. Thank you all so much for coming. Have a great night.